It's an exciting day. It's a real kickoff for something that I think is going to be very special for our department. I wanted to start out by sharing a story. When I was 16, I got a job working for the local Parks and Recreation Department in the summer, and I actually had the same job for 5 years. It was a great job. I made way more money than my friends working at McDonald's and things like that. But I remember when I first started working there, one of the jobs that we had to do, we did general labor kind of work for Parks and Recreation, maintenance kind of stuff. One of the things that we had to do quite regularly was to go through the park and the beach and pick up paper. And I remember that first summer, after a week or so, some of the guys showed up with sticks with nails on the end. You know, it made it a lot easier to pick up paper if you didn't have to bend down. You could get a lot more done, and it was easier, made your life a lot nicer. The superintendent of Parks and Recreation was a retired lieutenant colonel from the Navy. And he was the kind of guy who, it was a command and control thing. You didn't do anything without his permission. He saw us using those sticks and told the foreman to make us get rid of those. We would not be allowed to use those sticks. In his view, we didn't look busy enough when we were doing things. I don't know what that says about the U.S. Navy, but you know, that really left a message with me that I remember very distinctly thinking about that, thinking, one, well, this is no fun. You know, who wants to work in a place where, you know, when you come up with a way to improve things and do things better, you know, your boss wasn't going to let you do that. And I made a mental note, say, you know, if I'm ever in a position of leadership, I'm going to think about that. I'm going to think about the decisions I have and the impact that they have on the employees. And I say that by way of introduction to give you an idea of what I'm thinking of when we talk about operational excellence and about why I personally embrace the idea and think it's important. Because fundamentally what it is, it's about trying to engage everybody in our department in this process of trying to do things better. I mean, I'm a firm believer that the people at the front lines, the people who are actually doing the work, are usually in the best position to know the best way to do the work. If only one person is making all the decisions, all of the processes and things that you do are going to be based on what that person knows. That person can't possibly know everything there is to know out there. SFU is a complex, large place. We have big facilities, lots of complex systems. We require and rely on a broad range of skills and expertise to look after all those things and to provide all the services that we have. If we're really going to try to you know, do things well for the university, to really meet the university's needs in the way that it needs, we have to figure out a way to engage all the people who are involved in facilities in doing that. We have to bring together all that expertise, all of the experience that people like you have out there on the front lines, talking to customers, dealing with issues, you know, fixing systems, responding to problems out there, if we're really going to be effective in what we do. The goal or the idea behind operational excellence is to create an environment, to create some systems, to create a culture where everybody in our department has an opportunity and tools at their disposal and support from their managers to make changes that will improve things, right? And there's really three reasons that we want to do this. One, we want to provide better customer service. We want to be able to do things for our customers faster, better, more efficiently, want them to be happy, and we want them to be able to do their work well. They rely on us to do that. So that's the first reason. Second reason, facilities have a huge impact on the operations and the reputation of a university. You know, you think of the big universities of the world, you often think of the buildings that they have. They have a huge impact on people's perception of a university, and SFU is no different. Students make their decisions about where they're going to go in part on what the university campuses look like. So we have a role to play in not only providing facilities to help the people here do their work, but also in enhancing the reputation of the university, and that's really important. And thirdly, and just as importantly, we want to do this because we want to create an opportunity for everybody in the workplace to participate in making the workplace a better place to work. We really want this to be a place that people come and enjoy what they're doing, that they have an opportunity where they can make improvements, so doing their job becomes better, becomes easier, and everybody enjoys being here. So how do we do that? If we're really going to be effective in doing this, everybody has to be on the same page about some basic fundamentals. And that's primarily, what is our purpose? Why are we here? If we're not all here for the same purpose, then we're not going to function well as a team. Someone's going to be off doing things for this reason, and somebody's going to be off in a different direction for some other reason. So it's important that we all, first of all, understand what our purpose is and why we're here. And then secondly, it's important that we all are operating by the same values, that we all bring together as part of this culture a common set of values that we all agree that we're going to operate by, and will help direct our behavior and the attitude that we take towards things. So I wanted to start with the vision because I think that's the important part. Our senior team and a few other people from facilities have been working on these ideas. We spent some time at the University of Washington in their facilities department, who have done a lot of work in this area. And it's remarkable to see the transformation that's occurred at the University of Washington in their facilities department in terms of the work that they're doing down there, the quality of what they're doing, the excitement in their workplace amongst their staff because of these kinds of things. So we're not shy in saying we've stolen a lot of their ideas, but we've seen them work, and I think they can work here as well. The vision that we've come up with is simple. We're here to provide exceptional services and facilities. And I think it's a simple statement, but I think it encompasses what we're talking about. We look after the buildings. We're the stewards of the buildings and the lands. We also provide services that are supportive of that as well. And we want them to be exceptional. And all we mean by that is that we want to be able to look at what we do and to say that ranks up there near the top. You know, we might not be the absolute best. We may never be able to achieve that. But the idea of being exceptional in our minds implies that we always want to try to make it better, okay? We can't be too good is the idea to think about here, all right? And I think that's what the university would want us to do. So that's the purpose. That should be the guiding principle that we use when we're working together, when we're doing our work, when we're asking ourselves, is that good enough? You should ask yourself, is this exceptional? Should help you understand how to answer that question. So we've identified some values that we think are important as well that should impact how we go about doing our business, how we treat each other, how we treat other people in the university. It should really reflect our behavior, and they're fairly simple and straightforward. Integrity is really important. If we don't have integrity, if people can't trust what we say, then we're not going to be very effective as a team. So integrity is really important. We need people need to know that if we tell them something, that it's true, and if we tell them we're going to do something, that they can rely on us, that we'll do it. Trustworthy is very similar to that. We want our statements to be true. We want our actions to be consistent with our statements. People rely on us to be direct, forthright, and honest, and we want to make sure that reflects our behavior. Caring. We need to be empathetic towards others' needs. We need to have an honest sense of care and concern with our customers, with our fellow staff members in facility services if we're really going to be effective in achieving this. Innovative. This whole thing is about trying to figure out better ways to do things. We want to encourage innovation. We want people to be innovative and to think about how to do things better. I don't know why anybody wouldn't want to do that. Personally, I don't want to be in a job where I just get a book and it tells me to do this and this is all I do, and I come back and do that same thing over and over. That was, at that point in time when that person wrote that, an innovative way of doing things. But the minute they did that, it was outdated. There might be a better way to do it, and we want to encourage everybody to really think about, is there a better way to do things? Next is respectful. We should, in our behavior and our attitude, have respect towards other people, but also to the university and to the assets that we're responsible for looking after, whether it's our buildings, whether it's our the tools that we use with the university or whatever, but we certainly need to show respect. And then the last one, which I'll come back to, is joy. And I love this word because it really sets a high bar. You know, I don't know how many people talk about their job and they talk about, man, it's just joy where I work, you know. But if you don't strive for something better, you're not going to get there. And I think that's why we put this up here. We really want this to be a place where people feel good about coming to work. That's what I want it to be. I don't want people to be dragging their rear ends in here because, oh gosh, I got to go to that place again. If we're going to accomplish that, it's going to require that everybody be a part of it, that everybody abide by these kinds of principles, that we're all here on the same page working to the same purpose. And if we do that, we have the potential to do this. There are places who do this and describe their places as a joyful workplace. And I think we have the potential to do that as well if we really embrace this. So that's really all I wanted to say. Other than that, I thank you all for being here, and would really encourage you to take seriously what we're talking about, engage in this process. We will be better off if you participate wholeheartedly in this, and it will continue to evolve and change over time. And ultimately, the success we have will be a reflection of how all of us participate in it. So I'm glad that you're here today, and look forward to working with you on this. Thanks.
All right.